those in the audience there are happy drinking our little coconuts there. Do we all feel like we're drifting away on a beach somewhere? I do. It's amazing that. Well, my name is Rene, Gourmet Goddess. I work for Pucara Estate, which is an olive oil grove in the Upper Hunter Valley in Muswellbrook, New South Wales. Very privileged to be here presenting to you today my lemon olive oil cake. It's completely dairy free, and because I'm cooking with olive oil, it actually creates a really beautiful, luscious texture. So for all of you gorgeous people who are here at the start of the presentation, I will guarantee you a piece of cake. But I'm just doing a quick head count. They're going to be tiny little nibbles. But you'll all get a piece. So just a little bit of background on my history with food. I grew up surrounded by women who love food. My dear grandmother, who was with me in spirit today, was a pastry baker of German heritage, so she made some beautiful things. So I learned a lot from her, and my mother is also an awesome baker. When I was actually in her belly, she was learning how to make beautiful cakes and doing all these fun icing courses. So I was always surrounded by beautiful food as a child, and my creative streak actually ended up in a career in graphic design for me. And 10 years after sitting in front of a computer, I decided, nope, I'm sick of deadlines, I'm sick of being hunched over a computer, I'm sick of not talking to people and working for my passion, which is food. So that's why today I'm here representing Pucara Estate. I just love everything that they represent. They create amazing extra virgin olive oils that are super, super fresh. So from when the olives are picked from the trees and processed and bottled, that process takes about 48 hours. So you're getting an extremely fresh product in this bottle. So without any further ado, I'm going to get started on how to make this lemon cake for you. And we're going to teach you a few tips and tricks about olive oil along the way. And feel free just to pop your hand up and ask me any questions if you miss a step or if you've got any questions at all while we're going. So first step is to get 5 eggs and separate them. Now, I personally don't think that you need a fancy egg separator tool or anything like that. I just like to split the egg and do this a few times. Use nature's tools. Much easier and more environmentally friendly. Now, I'm sure many of you in the audience are very savvy about your egg choices. I personally like to go for free range, and I do like to make sure that they're cage free. And the other tip to really effective baking, particularly when you're doing what I'm doing here and you have to separate your egg white from your yolk and beat it with some sugar to get some air into it. Make sure that your eggs are really fresh, because that will affect the quality of the whipping and the texture you get when you combine it with the sugar. And also a tip that I learnt the hard way, if you're making pavlova, meringue, or if you are beating up some egg whites with sugar, try your very best not to let the yolk enter the egg whites. Always use a ceramic or plastic bowl. Don't use a metal bowl. I was whipping eggs one day for a very long time. My arm was getting very sore and I'm thinking, what have I done wrong? Anyway, popped on Google, troubleshooted making meringue, and sure enough, do not use metal bowl was like tip number 1 on the list. The other thing too that can affect your meringue making is if it's a really hot and humid day. If you don't have air conditioning, forget about it. You'll go through a million egg whites and not get the result that you're after. Okay, just get that little bit of stray shell. Awesome. So, I've got here about 3/4 of a cup of sugar. And I'm simply going to divide that between the two egg mixtures, so half into the egg white and half into the egg yolks. And I've done the egg yolks in the larger bowl, because eventually we're going to add all of our ingredients into that bowl. Can you all still hear me okay over my beaters? Oh, fantastic. So I absolutely adore this cake. It's a real quick and easy tea cake that you can whip up. And the advantage of cooking with extra virgin olive oil is that the cake will stay really fresh and really moist, even if you make it a day or two in advance. And you don't have to refrigerate it because it's completely dairy free. So particularly in our hot, humid climate, you don't need to be concerned about butter or milk affecting your cake. So we just want to give that a little mix until the yolks turn a nice lighter, creamier colour, which they have. So like that. And then we're just going to get onto the egg whites. This process takes a little bit longer. So just to reiterate, not a metal bowl, make sure it's plastic or ceramic. Don't get any yolk in there, and make sure you've got a nice cool environment when you're trying to do this. And you shouldn't have any worries. Now today I'm using our lemon extra virgin olive oil, but we also have a gorgeous lime extra virgin olive oil. So I have made an alternative of this cake on the lime oil, which is just divine. And I've also popped some frozen raspberries in there as well. So a lime and raspberry tea cake version of this cake is just divine. And obviously you can just cook it for a little less time if you wanted to divide the mixture into cupcakes. And for a really quick and easy icing, particularly if you're dairy free, have any of you heard of a product called Tofuti? Got a couple of nods there, mostly no's. Tofuti you can actually find in the tofu section of your supermarket or near the cream cheeses. It's actually a tofu-based or soy-based cream cheese replacement. So for me, it actually it reminds me of the taste of the goat's cheese you get in Mexico. It's quite a pleasant flavour, and it's quite easily used as cream cheese replacement. I actually use it instead of sour cream with my Mexican cooking, because I'm lactose intolerant myself. So it's a very versatile product. But when using it for a really quick and easy dairy-free frosting, I just grab the Tofuti, add in some icing sugar and just a little dollop of the lemon oil or the lime oil just to get that citrus flavour through. So it's a good little tip for you. So what we're aiming for with the egg whites is just some nice soft peaks. We're not too far away now. So I encourage you all, if you're ever travelling down to the Hunter Valley, to visit our beautiful olive oil grove, have a frolic through the trees and have a picnic. It's just gorgeous. There's something to be said for having a wander through the olive trees that it just makes you feel good. And most of you here today will understand exactly what I mean when I say that. So we have our beautiful tasting room at the Grove on site in Muswellbrook, which is in the Upper Hunter Valley. We also have a tasting room in Colburn, which is in like the main drag of where all the wineries are in the Lower Hunter. We have a brand new tasting room opening in Margaret River very shortly with Fermoy Estate. And in a couple of weeks' time, we're going to be having the Queen Victoria Markets tasting room opening in Melbourne, which we're very excited about. Kind of foodie heaven down there. So we're also represented across Queensland in many gourmet retailers. So many of you might be familiar with Rosalie Markets, Zone Fresh at Windsor, Clayfield Markets, James Street Markets. So that's where you can find our products. We do have retailers down the Gold Coast. Ferry Road Markets at Brickworks at Southport, and there's a new one that's just opened on the Isle of Capri, and there's also another gorgeous little gourmet store at Burleigh in James Street. Yeah, but you can just pop on our website www.bakaraestate.com.au and have a look at our stockist page to find out your nearest stockist. All right, so we've got our beautiful soft peak. So you just pop your beaters in and go like that. That's a soft peak. Some recipes, like if you're doing meringues, they'll ask for stiff peak, so you need to keep going a little bit longer for that result. So we've got our egg whites with our sugar, our egg yolks with our sugar. Then we're going to add 180 mils of extra virgin olive oil, liquid gold. And I'm actually going to pass a bottle of this around so you can all have a smell. For me, it's just like summer in a bottle. It's unbelievable. And if you don't have fresh citrus available and you just whip a bit of this out, the lime oil, the lemon oil from your cupboard, you've got that instant citrus zing. So I'll just pass that around if one of you would like to pop up. Have a smell. It's just divine. Okay, so that's gone in. And then I've got a cup of Farina 00 plain flour and just a half a teaspoon of baking powder. And I'm going to use the zest of 1 lemon. Now, of course, you could use lime, you could use tangerine, mandarin, orange, whatever you like, mix it up. Good little tip too, when you are zesting citrus, don't go any further than the top skin, because the white pith is going to give you a bit of a bitter taste. So just keep going around and only take the top stuff, the good stuff. What do we all think of that lemon oil, guys? It smells beautiful, doesn't it? Do you agree with me that it's like summer in a bottle? So for you guys drinking coconuts, you must be in heaven right now. Alright, cool. So that's our zest. And then we're going to use the juice of 1 lemon. I love these things. Dual action citrus juicer. So you can do your lemons in the bottom and your limes in the top. Kind of cool. Alright, so just give that a very quick little combine. You don't have to go too hard with this. Just with your spoon or spatula is fine. Just give it a quick little mix. So I just love baking with olive oil, as I said before. I do love the taste of butter, but the health benefits definitely outweigh with using olive oil for your baking. Olive oil is actually the oil from a fruit. So if you want to wear olive is a fruit. So it doesn't have to be heated and highly processed to extract the oil, like seed oils. You're actually having a really nice fresh product that's full of lots of goodies for you. There's a lot of research out there that you can find on the Australian Olive Oil Association website about the health benefits of olive oil, and I'll be more than happy to chat to you afterwards if you've got any specific questions about olive oil. Alright, so I've just given that a really quick little combine, just so there's no major lumps. And with our egg white, we're just going to add about a third at a time and just gently fold it through. We don't want to handle this too much because we want to keep the air nice and light and fluffy. So just gently fold through, third at a time. Of prep, we've got our cake ready to pop in the oven. So preheated oven, 180 degrees, and just line your cake tin. Now a little tip, when lining your cake tins, do get your tin, draw around it with a template and use your baking paper. It will give you a much better result when the cake comes out if you just take that little bit of extra care to prepare your paper. And just get a little bit of oil on the inside and then stick your paper to it. If you kind of just shove it in there and scrunch it, your cake will look a little bit rustic. I like to say rustic. If something comes out and doesn't look perfect, yeah, it's rustic. So in she goes. Oh, that lemon oil just smells so good. You're having a lovely sniff there of the oil. Thanks, yeah, just pop it there. Beautiful. And then the last little thing before it goes in the oven is just give it a little tap. So that's just to get any major air bubbles out of it. And just because I'm a perfectionist, I don't want any little bubbles and cracks and things. So that will help avoid any of those rustic results. Alright, so into the oven, 40 to 50 minutes, just keep an eye on it depending on your oven. And that will bake and should be ready 40-50 minutes at 180 degrees. So really, really simple one to do. Now, who is up for a little bit of olive oil tasting? Yeah? Alright, awesome. Could I have another volunteer to come up and hand around some samples for me? This is our premium extra virgin olive oil. Thank you, darling. I'll get you to volunteer next time, honey. I gotcha. This is our premium extra virgin olive oil. So this is a very mild tasting extra virgin olive oil. It's a really good one to use as a replacement for butter in your sweet baking because it hasn't got an offensive taste. It's a beautiful mild taste. And as I said, all of our oils at Puccara Estate are picked and processed and bottled within 48 hours. So you're getting an incredibly fresh product. If I can give you one message to take home with you today from this presentation, it is buy Australian extra virgin olive oil. Of course, I'd love you to buy Puccara Estate and support us, but buying Australian means that you are getting a really high quality product. With a lot of products overseas, they don't have many rules, regulations and laws surrounding the production methods and sale of olive oil. So there's a lot of corrupt business going on and a lot of unhealthy products hitting the market. So they might claim to be extra virgin, but they could be mixed with other oils. There's just no regulations looking after the products and the consumers. In Australia, our standards are so high. So take that home with you. That little piece of information is buy Australian made and you know you are eating a healthy, high quality product. Thank you very much. Okay, yep, so just... Sure, we've just had the question, is it okay to cook in a pan with olive oil because it might be unhealthy for you? The answer to that is that yes, you can absolutely shallow fry, deep fry, cook in a pan with olive oil. With olive oil and with any other oil, the tip is to make sure you don't heat it to the point where it's smoking. If you've heated an oil that hot that it's smoking, it's no good to you. That's when you're going to get a carcinogenic oil. Olive oil, especially an extra virgin olive oil, will have a very high smoking point anyway. So if it's fresh, you're right, you're safe. If you've got an oil that's been hanging around a bit too many months and it's lost its freshness, it will smoke a lot quicker at a lower temperature than a fresh extra virgin olive oil. Olive oil is very, very good for you. So the health benefits, certainly outweigh over a lot of other oils, particularly the seed oils. So anything that's from a pure kind of, a fruit like an olive oil or coconut, awesome, like bring it on. Those oils are great for you. Anything that's been heated and processed so many times like a seed oil is not going to be as good for you. You're just losing a lot of the nutrients and the benefits from that original product. It's like the whole raw food concept, yeah? Like, keep it simple. Don't play with it too much. Don't process it too much. And you're going to keep and retain all those beautiful vitamins and minerals and all the good stuff about your products. That's my philosophy anyway. And since I've started eating and cooking that way, I feel so much better for doing those things. So, now that you've all been holding on to your little olive oil, I want you to cup it in one hand and we're going to heat it and we're just going to put the other hand on the top and swill it around. So by heating up the olive oil, anyone got any ideas what that's going to do for us? It's actually going to help release the aromas. So we'll just swill a little bit longer. And while we're swilling, does anyone know what the difference is between a black olive and a green olive? One's more bitter was the answer at the front. Possibly. But the main difference is that the green olive is actually a younger version of a black olive. So it's not like grape varietals where a green grape or a white grape is different variety to a red grape. They all start green and they all go purple, that purpley blacky colour. And when we crush and make our blends at Pucara Estate, we actually take a mix of green olives, the black olives, and olives on the turn, which are kind of half colour. And that gives us a really nice balance of flavour, bitterness, creaminess, all the different notes that you would get from an olive. So what we're going to do now might seem a little bit crass, but what we're going to do is we're going to slurp. So we're going to take the air under the tongue into the sides of the mouth and do a nice little slurp. So I will demonstrate. Do you get that? So just practice without the oil first. Good. Right, off you go. We've got a pro up the front here. Awesome. Now, what sort of notes are we getting? What are we tasting on our palates from that olive oil? Don't be shy. Tell me what you're tasting. I'm getting like a green kind of tomato leaf flavour, like a almost fresh cut grass smell, and a nice sort of silky finish across the tongue. With a fresh extra virgin olive oil, they're the characteristics that you'll notice, particularly with the silkiness across the tongue. If you've got a olive oil that's gone a little bit off, it's a little bit past its ideal freshness, it will kind of leave like this kind of film on your tongue, or it might be a poor quality oil. But if it's a nice fresh extra virgin olive oil, you get that beautiful silkiness across the tongue, and then it will go away. So that's what I get with that oil. And as I said, nice and pleasant, yeah, not too overpowering. It's quite a pleasant oil, so you can easily substitute that for butter in your sweet baking. Now, I'd also like to take this opportunity to mention our Connoisseur Club Soiree. So it's a new initiative that we've started at Pucara, and it's all about bringing the Pucara Estate experience to you in your home. So we have a gorgeous team of crew members who come out to your home. We set up a gorgeous table, and you get to experience the olive oil tasting, olive oil and vinegar pairing, and you go through all of the beautiful Pucara Estate condiments, and we teach you how to cook with those gorgeous products. We also have a cooking school element to that presentation. So if you've got a few kind of foodie friends that you want to get around and have one of our gorgeous soiree crew members come out to your home and teach you all how to cook some amazing canapes, we would absolutely love to hear from you and be delighted to bring the Pucara Estate Cup love to you. So if you'd like more information about that, the Pucara Estate stand is just across the way there at H33. We've got our gorgeous Connoisseur Club catalogue full of our beautiful products and recipes. This is one of my absolute favourites. This is crispy duck bites with dukkha and wasabi mayonnaise. So if you would like to see the how-to recipe on how to cook that one, you can check me out on YouTube, Gourmet Goddess, and there's a how-to video on how to cook that beautiful product. So that highlights our gorgeous wasabi flavoured mayonnaise, our wasabi olive oil, and our gorgeous cashew and roast onion dukkha. Those duck bites are delightful, and there's never any leftovers when I cook those at a soiree, I can guarantee you. Alright, so our cake's been baking for 40 to 50 minutes. let's say. And now for a little bit of show magic. Here's what I prepared earlier, so we can all eat. Now, a little trick. If you do find that a cake comes out and poor old Bessie the oven's struggling these days, or something doesn't quite go right, you haven't had the time to get your lining perfect, that's okay. I'll show you a little trick that hides a multitude of sins. Icing sugar in a shaker. This $5 investment will make your bakes look beautiful. Now you can serve this with a little bit of whipped cream. If you're dairy free, you could get some of the gorgeous coconut cream out there. A little bit of ice cream. It's like fairy dust, it's just magic. It looks so beautiful, doesn't it now, with a little bit of icing sugar? Now, quick head count. 30, righto, we'll see how we go. So I'd like to thank you all for your time today. It's been really fun up here baking for you. And I do encourage you to come and check out our Pecara Estate stand. We do have this gorgeous lemon cake recipe printed out on a little handout for you to take home, so you can try it at home. And you can purchase our lemon extra virgin olive oil in this size, 250 mils for $16. So great investment for your pantry. It's such a good staple, and look, it's one of my favourites. I'm not meant to have favourites, but it is one of my favourites because I use the lemon oil with seafood. I use it with chicken. I combine it with our amazing pomegranate balsamic vinegar for my Middle Eastern cooking. So I'll do like a gorgeous couscous and like a bit of chicken, or a tagine dish. And the lemon oil with the pomegranate vinegar, I cannot stress to you how amazing that combination is. So do go and try it over there at our tasting table. And look, for just a simple dinner tonight, you can just grab a beautiful fresh fish, wrap it up in some alfoil and just gently drizzle a little bit of the lemon extra virgin olive oil over the top, and just pop that in the oven, and you've got the most amazing fish ever. Like I said, such a good product to have in your pantry for those times when you can't get your hands on some fresh citrus. So for all of you gorgeous people who have sat here with me for the duration of this presentation, I invite you to come up first to enjoy a piece of extra virgin olive oil cake. And again, thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to having a chat to you over at the Pecara Estate stand, or seeing you at one of our gorgeous tasting rooms very soon. Thank you very much for your time.